Hey guys, welcome back to my channel Z here, and in today's video I'm going to be doing a short comparison between the KZ ZSNs, which are on my right, to the KZ ZST Pros, which are on my left. So the first thing you'll notice is the price difference. So the KZ ZSNs cost roughly around $15, whereas the KZ ZSTs roughly cost around $17. Now you could find them for cheaper, but these are the prices that I'm going with. So first things first, the sound. So for the most part, both of these earphones sound pretty much the same. The only difference that I noticed was with the highs, particularly with the vocals, they sound cleaner on the KZ ZSNs. Other than that though, the bass, the sub bass and everything is pretty much the same. Again, the cleaner sound is on the KZ ZSNs. So both earphones have dual drivers. You have one balanced armature driver in the front and then one dynamic driver in the back. They both have the same setup. The higher quality materials you'll notice on the ZSNs where you have a hybrid mix. So you have plastic and then you have metal as well. So if you look at the nozzles, you'll see they're made out of metal. And then if you look at the back plate here, it's also made out of metal. Whereas on the ZST Pros, everything is pretty much plastic. Besides for the grill there, the protective grill in the front. So the better build materials go to the KZ ZSNs, but as I said in my review of the ZSNs, I don't really know how long or how these will hold up because of these protruding 2-pin ports, whereas on the ZST Pros, you have the recessed ports, which so far have lasted me quite some time. So I've had these for about a year now, whereas these I've only had them for about a week now. In terms of the fit, I'm going to have to give them to the ZSNs. That's pre-mod. So you'll see the brown silicone that I've added on the ZSTs, that's post-mod. So I've only modded these because the fit on these ZSTs were horrendous. They just wouldn't stay in my ears. Whereas the ZSNs, right off the bat, they just fit very well in my ears and they stay. They're very stable. So the ZSNs take the win over there in terms of fit. In terms of the comfort though, because these ZSNs have longer and metal nozzles, they kind of cut in. So when using the earphones for longer periods of time, I would much prefer the ZST Pros because the nozzles are shorter than the ZSNs. And they're not made out of metal, so they don't cut in. But again, that's only when you use these earphones for a while, you will notice it. Now for the cable, I do much prefer the cable on the ZSNs. It is braided, it's the new style cable, whereas on the ZST Pros, you get that sticky type of cable. Now, I have heard that the later production of the ZST Pro models are shipping out with the braided cable, the now new standard braided cable that most KZ earphones are shipping out with. So that might not be part of the equation here. But if I had to compare the cables between the sticky cable with the metal wire hooks or the cable on the ZSNs that have that braided cable without that metal wire hooks, then I do much prefer the cable on the KZ ZSNs. Overall, I feel like it's a tough decision to choose between the two, but if I had to choose as a vanilla pair, so without the silicone buds here that you see that I added, and without the braided cable that I normally use on the ZST Pros, then I would have to go, again, as a vanilla pair, I would have to go with the KZ ZSNs. There's just no modding required and they just work right out of the box. So I think that the ZSNs overall here take the win, and I would recommend the ZSNs over the ZST Pros. And one last thing, if you were wondering how the Bluetooth KZ aptX adapter fits onto the KZ ZSNs, as you can see here, it does fit and it does work. Well guys, that is pretty much it for my comparison between the KZ ZSNs and the KZ ZST Pros. I'll have links to both earphones in the description below. If you feel like I missed out on something, let me know in the comment section down below. If you found this video helpful, please hit that like button. Thank you for watching, and as always, I'll catch you on the flip side.